Hello and welcome to the virtual orientation for the 2026 Meech Lake Triathlon. It's one of my favorite events of the year. It's the oldest triathlon in Quebec, and we've been doing it pretty much the same way since 1983. So if you've raced the race before, whether it's been 1 year, 10 years, or 40 some years ago, the race is largely similar. Some small changes as they've repaved certain sections of road, and maybe the parking lot's gotten a little bit bigger. But for a lot of us, it's a very nostalgic race. It's also a very complicated race, which I'll jump into in the next slide. So I'm going to go through this orientation in order, very chronologically. I'll talk about pre-race, and then swim, bike, run, and post-race. But it's complicated for a good reason. This is what I would call an old school race, where back in the day they would design the best course they could, and they would measure it afterwards. Nowadays you'll see that it's very common to have a sprint triathlon, an Olympic triathlon, and so on and so forth. The distances of this race are very awkward. They don't follow the standard kind of try, sprint, super sprint, Olympic kind of format. And that's just because they wanted to build the best race experience they could. And because of that, there are multiple transition zones. So it's kind of a point-to-point race, as you'll see, that requires a lot more logistics, but it's all done in the hope of giving you the best experience that we can. So let's talk about pre-race. So the day before the race, so that's July 10th, 2026, from 2 to 5 p.m., you can pick up your bib at Sports 4 in the Glebe. They have two locations, one in College Square, one in the Glebe. We'll be at the Glebe location. If you don't pick up your bib then, you can pick it up on race day at the finish line, starting at 7 a.m. I know it sounds like a small detail, but picking up your bib the day before is my number one advice. Pardon me, but doing that the day before makes race day so much smoother. It's one less thing to do on race day. It gives you a chance to ask all your questions ahead of time. You can meet a few fellow athletes at Sports 4, talk to our race crew, see the maps in person. It's a really good chance to calm some of those pre-race nerves, a good way to feel more confident about your preparation, and just free up your schedule for race morning. So this slide is going to be a bit of a run-on sentence. I'll try and talk slowly, but you can always rewatch it or pause and go back. We'll start from the morning of the race. And I'll use my cursor here, so pardon me as I scroll around. Everyone's going to be coming, for the most part, from Chelsea. So you come up this road here, and there are 3 places where you can park. There's P8. If you keep going, there's a small parking lot called Skyline at the bottom of Camp Fortune. If you look to your left here as you're driving down, you'll see a ski hill. It won't look like a ski hill in July, but it's there. If you keep going further down, there's P9 right here. There are a couple smaller spots that you might see along the map where you might be able to fit 1 or 2 cars. Please don't be tempted by it. You might also see this parking lot here called P10. Please also don't be tempted by that. I know it sounds like a minor detail, but the NCC is very kind in offering us the permits to run this event, and one of their top priorities is that we stick to the parking lots that we're assigned to. So if you are coming to race, or if you're coming to spectate, or if you're coming to volunteer, whatever it might be, please stick to P9, Skyline, or P8. If you know the course already, you'll know that P9 is closest to the action. The red dot here is where the finish line is, and that's where T2 is. So everyone kind of wants to park at P9. But keep in mind that everyone's going to have a bicycle with them if you're one of the participants. So it's not that much further just to park at Skyline and ride your bike in to get set up. Similarly, if you're at P8, if you park here, you can take this nice north loop, which is closed to cars. So no vehicle traffic here to make it to the next point in your journey. So just to kind of recap from where we are, on race day, you drive in from Ottawa or Chelsea or the surrounding area, you take the road in here, you park at P8, Skyline, or P9, and you hop on your bike and you make your way to the finish line, which is also T2. So this is where you're going to do a couple things. You're going to drop off all your run gear. So that means running shoes if you want to wear a specific hat or a visor for the run. If you want to leave anything there for the run specifically, maybe you want to leave some sunscreen or an extra water bottle or something like that, you'll set it up there at T2. We'll have these little signs in the ground that say, bib number 100 to 150, go here. Bib 151 to 200, go here, so on and so forth. So if your bib number, you'll know what your bib number is and correspond it to the right spot in line and set up your little station with your running shoes and your hat and whatever else you have. And wherever you leave your stuff is where it'll be. So people often think like, well, how am I going to find my shoes in a sea of 300 other pairs of shoes? Well, one, we have those bib numbers kind of marked out to make it a little easier. But 2, try and make it memorable. Maybe you have fun colored laces. Maybe you put your shoes right at the very first spot of your section to make it easier to find. There's a couple of tricks like that you can do to make it easier. But if anyone's done a triathlon before, you know what race brain is. We all kind of lose common sense on race day, and there's not enough blood flowing through the brain. It's all in our legs. So you might forget where your shoes are. It happens to everybody, but that's how you're going to set up your T2. Once you set that up, you'll go get your bib if you haven't already. You'll also get your timing chip from the same area. So right where the red dot is, you'll be setting up your shoes, getting your timing chip, and doing your body marking. So we'll take a Sharpie and we'll write your bib number on your two biceps on the upper part of your arm, and we'll do your age and race on your calf. So that's going to be done there. Once you've done all that, you'll hop on your bike, and then you'll ride down the hill to get to what's called P11. P11 is the next parking lot just down here. You really can't get lost. Once you leave the intersection here and you go down, it's the very first intersection. And you'll see the transition zone set up there. You'll see our volunteers and all of our stuff there. That's where you'll set up your bike stuff. So your bike will go in a certain spot. You'll see there'll be bike racks that say, again, bike number 300 to 324. You go here. So you'll set your bike up in that bike rack, along with helmet, your cycling shoes if you're going to wear specific cycling shoes, nutrition, all the stuff that you want for the bike is going to go there. Then what you'll do is you will leave the transition with a pair of shoes on your feet. That means you need two pairs of shoes. I'll use my cursor again. You're going to leave a pair of shoes here at T2 for the run, but you also need a set of shoes to get from the bike to the start of the swim. The last thing I forgot to mention here is the bag, which I'll get to in a second, but you're also going to need a bag that zips up or closes up. So not like an open grocery bag, but something that zips up like a backpack or a duffel bag that snaps together kind of thing. And I'll get to that in a moment. So that's it. So you're going to show up in the morning, park at P8, Skyline, P9, then you're going to bike to T2 where you will set up your run gear, you will get your timing chip, you will do your body marking, then you will bike down the hill to P11 where you will set up your bike equipment. You'll put a bag right beside it, and then you'll put a pair of running shoes on your feet, and you will head down to the water for your swim. So now for the swim, you're standing at the edge of the water. You've got your swimsuit on or whatever you're going to swim in. You might be wearing a wetsuit, you might not. It's up to you. You'll have a pair of shoes on your feet. You've got your goggles, your swim cap, and all that. So what you'll do is you'll take your swim gear and go for your swim, but your shoes will stay on the beach. So I know I'm going back and forth a little bit, but your bike stuff is set up here. You put a pair of shoes on. This trail to get to the start of the swim is quite rocky, lots of roots, it's kind of hilly. So I recommend putting shoes on there. There's no rule against having no shoes. Like, you are allowed to go barefoot. I really wouldn't recommend it. And when you get to the beach, we'll have another little T-zone set up where, again, it has bib number 200 to 250. Your shoes go here. So then what will happen is you've got a little grid for the T-zone at the beach. You'll have your bike over here, and we will do a big 3, 2, 1 go at 8 a.m. So what's cool about this start is that at 8 a.m., 3, 2, 1 go, you are welcome to go whenever you're ready. But your timing chip will not be activated until you cross into the water. So unless you plan on being the first one out of the water, there's no point in being the first one in the water. Let's say the gun goes off and you want to wait 10 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is before going in the water. That's okay, because your time won't start till you go into the water. It's not going to affect your overall time if you choose to hang back and start with a group of swimmers that's more your speed, or more, maybe it's your friends, maybe it's someone you've been training with, or a spot that you think you might just fit in better. Please don't be the very first one at the front of the swim unless you plan on being quite a strong swimmer. It's no fun being passed by everybody. It's also no fun passing everybody. So if you think you're a strong swimmer, get up where you think you might fit in and have a great swim. So I'll use my cursor again, but the swim is quite straightforward. We'll have a buoy over here, a buoy at the two corners, and a buoy over here. So 4 of these orange spheres that are buoys. You start here, you do one loop going counterclockwise, and you come back to the beach. Once you get to the beach, you'll put on your running shoes, you will run all the way to your bike, and when you get to your bike, you'll take off your running shoes, take off your wetsuit if you chose to wear one, take off your goggles and your swim cap. If you were swimming with a swim buoy, you would take that off as well. Put all of that into your bag that you brought with your bike, and then zip it up with anything else you don't need. And maybe you left an extra water bottle just to get some extra nutrition in with you. You can drink that, put it in the bag, and zip it up. We'll give you a sticker to put on that bag with your bib number so we know it belongs to you, and then we will take that to the finish line for you, so you don't have to worry about it. You hop on your bike, you'll go to your bike, and that bag will be waiting for you at the finish line. So there you go. As far as cutoff times, You have to be done before 9 a.m. because we have to be off the beach by 9. So as we get closer to that 8:45, 8:50, we'll start tearing down some of the things that aren't as crucial to the swim, but we'll leave everything else set up until 9 o'clock. But we do have to make sure we abide by the rules imposed by the NCC. So please make sure you're able to complete the 1,200 meter swim within an hour. And now the best part of this course, if I do say so myself, the bike loop is kind of your classic Gatineau Park loop. So I'll use my cursor again, but the map is pretty straightforward. You'll leave the T-zone, heading down the parkway and making an immediate turn to go up Camp Fortune. So you're doing the Fortune climb right away. So half of the elevation in this bike, is right off the bat. So it's a really tough start to the bike, but it's a really good challenge. And I think it's a really beautiful climb. Once you do that, you'll go all the way down Blacks, down Kingsmere, end up at the bottom here at Mika. You'll turn left, you'll cross the road here, and finish your bike ride. Things to note, we're not allowed to put signage in Gatineau Park. So at these turn points, so one here, there's one here, one here, and one here, we'll have volunteers with orange flags and kind of waving, saying this way, but it's pretty much a straight loop going counterclockwise in Gatineau Park. If you've done the course before, or if you've ridden in the park, you probably know it inside and out. The other important thing to note is all the gates inside Gatineau Park will be closed. So there's one little gate here, which is not an issue because you're going uphill pretty steeply. So you just bike around the gate. There's a nice paved section that goes around. It's quite easy to do. But when you get down here, this is a nice big downhill section, and you end up at a T-junction. It's important that you guys slow down. I know it's a race, but slow down enough that you can safely go around the gate and make your way down Penguin right here. Similarly, when you get here, this is a nice little downhill section, and then it's flat. So usually you slow down kind of organically. It's a nice flat section. But when you get to the intersection, make sure you slow down, go around the gate, or keep riding. You don't get off your bike, you'll keep riding through, but you'll go around the gate to finish your loop. The bike course is still open to other cyclists, so people can still go enjoy Gatineau Park. We're going to have police officers at this intersection because cars do cross here. They have a stop sign, but still, we're cyclists. We all know how that battle goes when it's car versus bike. We'll also have cops at this intersection here and cops when you exit the parking lot. So we're doing our best to keep you safe. Again, I know it's a race and we all want to go the fastest we can, but those spots are not exactly where you're going to win the race. So be safe where you can be. And then the run, so most of the run is actually shaded. Depending on where the sun hits, it's usually a pretty good day for a shady run. So you'll drop off your bike by handing it to a volunteer. So you finish your bike, you get off the bike, hand it to a volunteer, take off your helmet, give it to them. Your shoes can go with them if you like, it's up to you. Turn around, grab your running gear, so running shoes on, visor on, whatever it is. If you prefer, you can also, again, put your running shoes on and your hat or whatever, and leave some cycling gear there if you feel like it. It's up to you. You can leave it with the volunteer on the bike, or you can leave it where you left your run stuff. Then it's a straightforward run, going down and back. We'll have a water station right around here, so you can grab water about 100 meters before the turnaround, drink some water and electrolytes, then turn around and grab it again if you like, make your way back. For all three of these, so for the swim, the bike, the run, and for that transition from swim to bike, we have a Strava file on our website. So you can see the elevation, see how the hills are, see exactly how long it is and whatnot. But it's all there on our website if you want to see a detailed Strava map of each of these sections. So that's it. The other thing that you may have noticed on the screen here and each of these slides is smile for the camera. We're going to have professional photographers at the race. So feel free to show us your game face, or your pain face, whatever it might be. And the photos are free to download after the race. They're all yours. Hope that you get a chance to enjoy them. But make sure you either spot the camera guy and give him a smile, or go for the candid shot and let him get the shots that he gets. So that's it. At that point, you've done it. You've completed the 2026 Meech Lake Triathlon. We're going to try and do a little award ceremony at 10 a.m. The issue is, again, if you know Gatineau Park, there is terrible reception in there. Most years, we don't get enough reception to actually capture the data, the finishing data. So we usually have to go back into town after the race to upload all the information and then put it on our website. And we'll always email you all the results for any race, regardless of whether there's spotty reception or not. But we'll do our best to do a 10 a.m. Award ceremony. You have until 11 to finish the race, but we'll start getting some of the first finishers done with the award ceremony so they can get out of the sun and get going, and everyone can get on with their Saturday. We'll post all the photos at photos.somersault.ca. The results are at results.somersault.ca. I think you're seeing a trend here. But we'll also send you a post-race newsletter with all this information, the awards, the results, photos, all that stuff there. So if you have any questions, let me know. My email is adam@somersault.ca. Again, this race is complicated. I know it's not easy. I know this video was long, but I appreciate you if you watched all the way to the end of this video. I hope that it made some sense, but please don't be shy to reach out if you want more clarification. We've got the Strava files on our website. We've got maps for you. The park is open all year long. I wouldn't go swimming in Meech Lake in the winter, but you can ski the whole loop in the winter. You can ski the entire loop all winter long. You can run and bike it all summer long, spring and fall. So please get out there, familiarize yourself with the course, think about the logistics, and have the most fun that you can at the Meech Lake Triathlon.